Ever since we put out our big world exclusive last night, the story has been going viral on social media, creating a storm digitally and being discussed all over, because India Today has become the first and the only news channel to travel all the way in Iraq to the exact area where the 39 Indians are believed to have been held captive. Last Sunday, after meeting the family members of those who are missing, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj had told reporters that there was a prison in Badush where Iraqi intelligence had informed the Indian government that these 39 Indians were being kept. So we sent Aanchal Vohra on a treacherous, arduous journey from Erbil to Mosul and then onwards to Badush. Badush is where these Indians were believed to be kept in a prison. What's happening there? Are those Indians still there? Sit back as I bring you this India Today World Exclusive.
Plumes of smoke, thuds of explosion. This is what became of Mosul after ISIS overran it in June 2014. 3 years later, this July, Iraqi forces recaptured the ancient city. Hopes flickered more than 3,000 kilometers in the east, across India. Hope that 39 Indians missing from Mosul since 2014 could still be alive.
जब बदूश की लड़ाई समाप्त होगी,
For families waiting for their loved ones, nothing could have been more reassuring. And that's when India Today sets out in search of our missing immigrants in Mosul. A journey through some of the world's most dangerous zones. The first by any Indian TV crew after Mosul's liberation from the deadly ISIS. Located in northern Iraq, this city has been no stranger to the rise and fall of civilizations. It's reduced to ruins once again. This is where ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi declared a global caliphate in 2014.
That's the Al-Nuri mosque from where Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi announced his caliphate. There is no clarity whether he's been killed or is still alive. West Mosul, though, lies in ruins. There's nothing left here. The moment you get here, the smell of rotting bodies catches up. There's only destruction as far as your eye can see. There are no human beings.
An estimated 40,000 people have been killed in Mosul. Many more are still unaccounted for. Our heart sinks to think of the fate of 39 Indians abducted by the ISIS in mid-2014. In Erbil, near Mosul, we meet members of the tiny Indian community. Tirupati belongs to Hyderabad and works at a popular restaurant here. He's worried about the fellow Indians gone missing.
It's very sad to they're stuck there. I don't know about them, where they are. Very, very sad, very, very sad. So we want to know where they are safe or they are in any trouble or like that.
Around 6,000 Indians live in Erbil. At the beginning of the conflict, 22,000 lived in Iraq. Most came here for work. Where did 39 of them disappear? We probe different agencies.
This is the office of the Red Crescent in Erbil, and we're about to go inside to find out if they have any information about the 39 Indians who were abducted in 2014. Remember, India's External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj continues to give hope to the families of these abducted Indians, and the Ministry of External Affairs did say that it was originally Red Crescent that gave them the information that the Indians are alive. So what's the status? Do they know anything? Have they been talking to the Indian government? Let's find out. Indian government said that Red Crescent has told them.
Havre Ehsan Sadiq has been the manager of Red Crescent's Erbil branch since September 2014. If there is any information that needs to be shared about civilians, it would go through him.
You're in charge of Red Crescent in Mosul, right?
Yeah.
If there is any information that any of your volunteers or workers find or in Mosul about Indians, will that come to you?
But 3 years, ISIS to controlled in the Mosul, and I didn't any information with the any people inside Mosul.
Erbil's main humanitarian agency is clueless, but our search continues. We now head to the heart of the conflict in West Mosul. The entire area looks like a war zone. We move through endless lines of destroyed, deserted homes. That's the final mile. We are nervous yet hopeful. Soon, we are joined by a local team. They led us to a path laden with mines. We walk, watching our steps carefully. What we discover is stunning. There's no sign of any prison anymore, let alone any person. We look at the rubble, shattered.
This is Badush Prison. This is where, according to the intelligence India's External Affairs Minister has received, the 39 abducted Indians could possibly be. But that information is clearly absolutely incorrect, because this building, we're being told, was destroyed by ISIS itself years ago, and this area was liberated a few months ago, in fact, by the counter-terrorism unit of Iraq. What's left are just remnants of what was once a prison where ISIS had come to get some of their Islamist brothers released from. And it is at that time that they also ended up occupying the city of Mosul. The question hence continues to be, where are the 39 Indians? It is important to have hope, but looking at this, I have to say, this is not what I expected to find. We faced many problems while coming here, and one was hoping that perhaps there'd be some good news that one could return home with. In Badush, on the outskirts of Mosul, in Iraq, Aanchal Vora.
A very significant ground report this by Aanchal Vora, taking immense risk to life and limb by making this journey all the way from Mosul. Remember, Mosul itself is dangerous, and she's actually gone beyond Mosul to Badush, to the exact spot where these Indians were believed to have been kept hostage. Aanchal Vora is joining us this morning live from Erbil in Iraq. Also with us on our broadcast this morning is India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan. With us also is Anand Patel. Anand Patel has just come back from Punjab late last night. He was traveling to the villages where these Indians were being kept hostage. He traveled to the villages where the family members lived of those Indians who were being kept hostage. Let me get you now Anand Patel's ground report, because remember, there are two sides to the story. You've got the mystery of the missing Indians in Iraq, and you've got the family members of those who are missing. They're distraught. Anand Patel traveled to their villages and spoke to them.
I announce from here to the whole world the end and the failure and collapse of the terrorist state of falsehood and terrorism which the terrorist Daesh announced from Mosul 3 years ago.
Barely 10 days ago, Mosul was declared free from the clutches of the world's most dreaded terror organization. The war-torn territory witnessed joyous scenes after 3 years of bloodbath. These pictures of celebrations in the streets of Mosul have kindled fresh hope thousands of miles away in Punjab. India Today set out to meet Harjeet Masih, the only Indian to escape. He has been claiming that ISIS terrorists abducted the group of 40 Indians on 11th June 2014 and executed them near Badush deserts on 15th. Harjeet Masih is living a tough life after his return in Kala Afghana village of Gurdaspur. From Mosul, he managed to reach Erbil border, where he was picked by Indian consulate.
हमें तो अलग ले गए गड्डी में बंद करके। उनको तो वैसे सर मैं जब वहाँ पहुँचे तो वहाँ थे वो सब वैसे झूठ झूठ बोला कि हाँ वैसा हूँ पता ही है आपको सब कैसे कैसे बोला है मैंने। वो लोग तो अपने उधर के लोग ही मारे जा रहे हैं तो इंडिया वाले को कहाँ छोड़ेंगे वो लोग। उन लोगों ने अपने भी उधर बहुत लोग मारे लोकल लोगों को मार दिया उधर लोगों ने। तो इसलिए सर चलो मैं कहना नहीं चाहता सर तो फिर भी सर मैं कह रहा हूँ कि लोगों को मेरे सामने मारा है।
Our next stop was Bhoiwal village near Amritsar. Here, the family members of some of the 39 missing Indians often get together and discuss developments. They have been waiting for their prayers to be answered for 3 long years.
Reports from Iraq suggest that the Badush jail, where the 39 Indians were held captive, has been completely destroyed during fierce fighting between ISIS fighters and Iraqi forces. But here in Bhoiwal, the family members are hopeful and praying at the local Gurudwara for the safe return of their children.
MOS External Affairs V.K. Singh was rushed to Iraq to look for the missing Indians. But there has been little breakthrough.
जब तक इलाका पूरी तरह से कंट्रोल में नहीं आ जाता तब तक ये कहना मुश्किल है जेल में है नहीं है जेल से और कहीं भेज दिया गया है ये भी क्वेश्चन मार्क है।
25-year-old Manjinder Singh's mother, a cancer survivor, is rebuilding her house. She is trying to fulfill the dream of her only son, who went to Iraq to earn money and build a grand house. 12th June 2014 was the last time Manjinder called home. He sounded desperate. ISIS fighters had taken them hostage. All that the helpless family members could do was call the Indian embassy at Baghdad. But no help reached. She breaks down while narrating Manjinder's ordeal.
ਉਹਦੀ ਉਮੀਦ ਨਾਲ ਡੈ ਵੀ ਆਊਗਾ ਤੇ ਘਰ-ਬਾਰ ਬਣਿਆ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਚਲੋ ਵਿਆਹਾਂਗੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਘਰ-ਬਾਰ ਬਣੂਗਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਮੀਦਾਂ ਤੇ ਜੀਣ ਡੈ ਤੁਰੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ 4 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਆਸਰੇ ਵੀ ਚੱਲ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਆ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਕੱਲ ਵੀ ਆ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਬੜੀ ਆਸ ਨਾਲ ਜੀਣ ਡੈ।
Our next destination was Dasuya in Hoshiarpur, where Manjinder's sister Gurpinder has been crusading for the safe return of her brother and other men. Over the past 3 years, she has written to almost every influential person she could reach to, from Foreign Secretary to the Prime Minister himself.
I think government is not doing enough because we are a power. India is a big power. If Indian government want, then they can bring back 39 Indians immediately.
Family of another missing Indian. Gurcharan claims on 17th June 2014 he called his brother in Bahrain.
गलबात कर लईदी आ फोन ते भी कर लईदी आ उस तरह भी कर लईदी आ मिल जुल के पता लग जांदा जानकारी दा
सानू अपना ये मतलब जेड़ा साडे सब दा दर्द देख के ये सानू अपने भैन भरावां नालों भी वध चंगे लगदे आ साडी सुनदे भी आ सानू दसदे भी आ चलो हो पिया सच्चे पातशाह करूगा कृपा।
The Iraqi foreign minister is arriving on Monday. The government has been assuring that he will bring fresh update about the missing Indians.
It's been a long and agonizing wait for these family members, waiting for some news of their dear ones from a war-ravaged country. The only hope they are clinging on to is the fact that no ransom call was ever made, no video has surfaced, and no mass grave of Indians has been found so far in Mosul. With camera person Premchand Mishra, this is Anand Patel in Amritsar for India Today.
A very disturbing situation this. There is no proof of life, there is no proof of death either. But in the midst of all of this, the one big update that we have is that at that exact place where these Indians were believed to have been kept hostage, the detention center where they were being held captive has been destroyed by the ISIS in retreat. Joining us this morning, we've got Anchal Vora from Erbil. Geeta Mohan, our Foreign Affairs editor, also with us at this time is Anand Patel. He's just come back from Punjab. You saw his report. I want to go across to Aanchal first. Aanchal, describe your journey. How difficult was it to get to Badush? What did you see around you? And also, you spoke to members of the Red Crescent, the Iraqi army. What are they telling you? What is it that you were told all through your journey from Erbil to Mosul and then to Badush?
Well, the first difficulty is to really get to West Mosul. There are a lot of journalists with very prominent international organizations that I personally know of, and I know that they could enter West Mosul. So the first part was that there are elaborate permissions that one has to apply for. We did manage to get in, and then there are about 12 to 13 security checkpoints that we had to cross, which is quite troubling. It's a bit of a hassle. Luckily, we managed that. The riskiest part was when we got to Badush, we had to walk for about 20 minutes or 15 minutes on this muddy terrain, even though we had soldiers of the Golden Division leading us and checking if there are any mines or not, because that area is full of mines. Despite that, I would say that was quite dangerous. Luckily, we're still alive. But personally, I felt the disappointment that struck when I saw that it was a crumbling edifice, that was Badush Prison and there are no human beings there, and that Indians are certainly not being held up here as the intelligence Indian government had perceived. The disappointment was pretty heavy because we travelled so far, and the idea was that we'd find the Indians and hopefully we'll find them alive, and that didn't happen.
Aanchal, tell me what's happening in Badush at this time? You know, how long back did it fall? When did the Iraqi forces take over? What extent of control does the ISIS still have in areas close to Badush?
Well, ISIS has been struck pretty hard. The next operation that the Iraqi armed forces and the militias, prominently the Shia militia, the Iran-sponsored militia, will conduct would be in Tel Afar and Habija. That would take about a few months, but that's not to say that ISIS has disappeared. In the old city in Mosul, we met a couple of people, and they said that ISIS has already started returning, though not in groups, but a few people, and they've started forming sleeper cells. So the problem in Iraq will continue to be, and ISIS is not gone forever. A lot depends on how Iraq and the international community deals with this problem. But of course, it has been quite damaging on the brand ISIS, so to say.
With me, Aanchal. Geeta, what kind of reactions are we getting from the Ministry of External Affairs? Has there been any word yet on the back of this story? Because this is really based on a Sushma Swaraj comment from last Sunday, where she mentioned a particular prison, a particular area in Iraq where these Indians were being kept captive, and now Aanchal's disturbing ground report says that that prison itself doesn't exist.
Well, Rahul, we have sought reactions from the Ministry of External Affairs, but no word from the MEA right now on the exclusive reporting that India Today is doing from Ground Zero, from Badush, where the prison does not exist. Certainly, there is no news of the Indians, and like we were reporting yesterday, also Rahul, that Aanchal is speaking to the very same people that Indian government calls their own sources on the ground, the Red Crescent and the various local commanders in that entire area, and no word of any knowledge of whereabouts of the Indians. This, even as the Iraqi ambassador has told us, that no news sometimes could very well be good news.
Anand, you've been speaking to family members in Punjab. There was a very, very disturbing report from the villages where these people are living, and naturally for 3 years they've been in agony. They can't, be certain about whether they should be hopeful or whether they should give up hope, and this absence of information, this ambiguity, is really what makes things very difficult for these family members.
Absolutely, Rahul. Not only for them, but also for us as journalists, who are talking to them, because these people are out there in the villages and they're just hoping for some news. And every time a journalist like me goes there, they just want to know what is the latest update from Iraq. And they were really disturbed when I told them on Thursday that the Badush jail no longer exists, because on Sunday only, just 5 days ago, they were assured by the External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj that these 39 Indians, their children, could be lodged in the Badush jail. But when VK Singh came back, he had assured that once the fighting is over in Mosul and once the area is cleared, they will get more information. But within 5 days, you know, the reports were clear that Badush jail was razed to the ground. There's nothing over there. And when I told them this, they were very, very disturbed. And also, you know, despite this, you know, they're still hopeful. They're still waiting because there was no ransom call from the ISIS, which is a modus operandi whenever they abduct foreigners. There was no video of any killing, and also no mass grave has been found so far, you know, with any Indian body. So these are the three important things. And also, over and above that, Harjeet Masih, who's been claiming that the 39 Indians were killed near Badush Desert on the 15th of June 2014, families claim that there have been at least 2 phone calls after 15th of June. First on the 17th of June by one Gurcharan Singh, and the second on the 21st of June by one Nishan Singh. Both of these are among the 39 Indians who are missing. But after 21st of June 2014, there's been no word, no phone call, and that's the worry for the families, you know. They're hoping that some news trickles down from the External Affairs Ministry, some news comes down from Iraq, thousands of miles away, and they're still hoping that even after 3 years of no news at all, complete blackout, their children will come home safe.
We're now in July 2017, so at least 3 years have passed and there hasn't been any communication at all from any of these 39 Indians in Iraq. Is the government wrong because this is now becoming a big political issue? We saw the Congress say they will move a privilege motion against Sushma Swaraj. The Congress alleges the government is misleading Indians. I spoke to a senior government official last night. He said that while we haven't heard anything positive, we haven't heard anything negative either. So why let that flame of hope die out? We're slipping into a break. When we come back, I'll get you the horrific account of the lone survivor, the only Indian who managed to get away. He describes his escape. He also describes what he saw happen to the other Indians. We have lots of political reactions coming in. We'll go across live to Punjab, understand from family members what they're saying. Remember, the Iraqi foreign minister comes to India on Monday. This India Today exclusive is bound to be raised in Parliament. We've already received multiple calls from members of Parliament saying they will be questioning the government about this. We'll get you more updates when we come back on the other side of a very quick break. Stay with us.